triangle or whatnot.
The text.
Yeah, I'm just lazy. Okay, so someone's drawing in blue. Who's that?
Sandy.
Sandy, cool. Sandy is identified. We can control the south-going road from up here. We can basically prevent the enemy from moving in. Yeah, I'm trying to figure that out too.
You can clear the page, but I don't know how to delete little parts.
Doesn't look like there's an actual delete feature.
Oh
yes.
boy.
Choose the arrow tool, select, click on it, press delete. I'm doing that right now. Not quite sure if you can actually do a selection box or anything like that.
Careful about clicking on the map because stuff will just move.
Yeah, clicking on the map is... I don't know if you can actually... I believe you can also lock certain image elements. I haven't used this tool a lot, but there is like a lock and unlock button up on the top. Although I don't know if it locks or unlocks the whole picture, or just the element that you currently have selected.
It locks the picture at least. Okay, so so we had two OPs from the south where we could observe the gamma road from the south. How about the hill 2321? That should also be pretty good, right?
I don't see it.
On the west side.
I see it now, I see it.
Also very exposed.
Yeah, it's very exposed and very far forwards.
Yeah, truly.
But I would say anywhere on the western ridgeline, basically, if you go like upwards from the road, gain some height, and then moving forwards, you should be able to, gradually gain more and more visibility into the town.
Okay, good. So that's our observation fields, and in this case, all of our good observation points are also good, pretty much good fire points, except for the southmost one where we almost get a kilometer worth of range to gamma road there. So that's observation fields of fire. Then our next thing is avenues of approach. Can anyone tell me what the enemy's or our best avenues of approach are for fast speed?
The road.
Yeah.
Southern road, yeah. Others?
Along the ridge lines, like essentially like following the ridge, you're staying at the same altitude. Probably you'd want to stay at like the far side of the ridge line from the enemy. But
so we can be on the ridge line on the west. If we can go, basically, if we can go west around here, then we have an avenue of approach as well. It's not fast, but it's safe. They won't see us coming, and pretty much the same where Sandy put the blue arrow there. That's also a good avenue of approach because that's covered and concealed all the way until we reach pretty much the point where the arrow ends. That's the first time we'll actually be exposed to the enemy.
Although I wouldn't personally call that a high-speed avenue of approach because it's forested, rough terrain.
Yes. Yeah, the road is the only high-speed avenue of approach, but the forest is a concealed avenue of approach, and largely covered due to the elevation on the west side. Okay. Next thing is key terrain, and I think you guys have identified this already. But in order to control gamma road, what do we really need to control?
The roads.
The hills around gamma road.
Exactly, the hills, because basically if we can hold these two green OPs we put down and gain some ground to the north of gamma road, we can basically lock off that town. We can make sure that no one gets in or out of that town and make sure the enemy can move around inside the town without us hitting him. and it can give us good time to let civilians clear out of there. We can fucking do psyops against them, telling them, hey, we got the town, surrender, and let the civilians come out too, and so forth. Or we can, after we've secured this area, then we can move in from the south, and having cut off their avenues of escape by seizing the hills around the town, we can go into the town and they won't be able to escape. They'll just have to either surrender or sit there and die. Yeah, that's definitely key terrain. That's the hills to the north and the south and the west. If we can control them, we can control the town. We talked about this already. Cover and concealment. These hills on the south side, they severely lack cover and concealment. Only real cover is the ridge lines themselves, but they prevent us from looking into the town. And the only real concealment is random rocks and maybe a bit of grass here and there. Whereas the eastern side of town with its wooded areas and stone walls and so would provide pretty good cover and concealment at the same time. And we also know that Gamrot possesses by far the most cover and concealment because of the buildings in there. So that's basically our little exercise, and from this terrain analysis, just by analyzing the terrain and finding out what can the enemy do, what's the key terrain, where can we observe and fire from, we've basically planned an attack, because we've basically just been able to identify, okay, if we were to do this, we would I would probably go up on hill 2280 with a support element, and I'll move an assault element on the east side through along the blue arrow, gain ground on the north side, and get on blue defensive position here, and then cut off the enemy avenue of escape. Then press my support element in through into the town of Gamrot and effectively kill the enemy. If I did this, I would have to take some anti-fratricide measures though, because we're basically going to be moving into each other's fields of fire. So we need to make some sort of system to make sure we won't kill each other.
Also, you will find out in the real game, because I've played a mission that did exactly that. That hill 2280 or the approach to Gamrot is actually not that good of a position for any support element, because they can barely see the top of the houses from that position.
Yeah. Which hill, Jake?
2280.
2280. It falls away too quickly.
It's too flat in relation to the ground below.
Right.
The height difference is not good enough.
The way we describe that is we say we don't have the deflection.
Yeah.
That makes any sense. But I understand.
Okay, so, and this is just bringing me on to the next thing. This is a perfect example of why you want to do a leaders recon. So you might have made this plan, but then you would get into an ORV. We could set one up here. 1 second. Make me a line, goddammit. That didn't work. See those black crosses?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah. So we can make an operation rendezvous here, and then the leaders could break off, go to a fire position, and look at our avenue of approach, and make sure those are actually decent. And if they're not, then we can go back, say, sorry guys, no good. We have to make a new plan. And either based on what we saw up there, we could see, okay, this is a nice area, or this is a nice place, and then we could go over there, do a new leaders recon, identify, is this a good spot, and then from there go. But this is actually why leaders recon is very invaluable.
So, Godhand, without digressing too much, that's a consideration in game, is that the other players that are in there are going to get bored.
Very much, yeah.
And I guess what you got to think about is what can you give them to do so they don't get too bored while you do that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Still, this course is just to give you some tools to work with, like if you know the real stuff, it's easier to plan a mission realistically and then compromise in terms of GIFs and in terms of playability.
Right.
Well, essentially, when you are commanding a mission, it doesn't really matter much what scope of the mission is. You're basically game mastering for all the other people. So you are setting pace of the game and how much action everybody gets, basically. And there's two ways of doing it. You can either do it, since we're playing a military simulation here, you can do it the hardcore way, which involves a lot of people sitting around doing nothing, for long stretches of time, which, some people are completely content with. I for example, have no problem whatsoever to sit for like a half an hour on a hill and just observe something, but some people get really, really bored by that. So you gotta basically judge what kind of player base do I currently have. Do I have more the action crowd, or do I have more the simulator crowd, and then try to cater to those special needs, so to speak.
That's a good way to put it, Jake. Special needs.
Yeah, we have a lot of special people on this community.
Oh dear.
Okay. But that's pretty much what I wanted to teach you guys today. So if there are any questions about what we've gone through here today, or on some of the future contents, I'm not gonna explain it to you, but we can talk about what will be covered in the future content. Then now's the time to ask about that shit. No one? Cool. That must be good. Or boring.
Yep. But you are, Goran. You're sexy.
No. Damn it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hang on, Jake. Go ahead. Just hang on 1 second. I'm going to look at the schedule for what you have planned. So what's coming up next week?
Next week is gonna be conducting a march. Not very much useful in game, but still, you could easily convert that into either a convoy mission or a whack where you wanna move a certain distance before you get to your actual objective point.
Okay. And then the last one. The last one's going to be on defensive positions.
Yeah, that's just gonna be the last one for January. I got a bunch for February. I just haven't planned out yet.
Oh, okay.
Let me just look at here. Yeah, for the marching, we're gonna go over what some of your considerations to put into a marching order, including starting position, ingress point, spacing, speed regulations, all that shit, phase lines, and then I'm gonna have you guys actually do some of these. So we're probably gonna go in game, and we're gonna make some marching orders, and we're gonna, even if time permits, play them out and see what we missed, what we didn't plan for. Hopefully, if this will work out. And then next time we have defensive positions, well, we'll talk about prepared and unprepared defensive positions, a bunch of technical stuff about how to actually prepare as best as possible for this, like assigning fields of fire, secondary fields of fire, tertiary fields of fire, alternate missions in the defensive positions, all kinds of shit, CCPs, conducting ambushes, etc., etc. It's gonna be pretty detailed. Maybe we will even go into game and try this if I can compress it enough and maintain the most important parts. I'll see about doing that. And I'm planning. Awesome. Last thing I'm planning for either the end of January or the start of February to do a tactical Tuesday or a tactical Saturday or whatever, and then give you guys a preset set of missions you can that you're gonna platoon lead, and then you can plan out according to what you've been told. And then you're going to be squad leading for each other. So, for instance, Beta might be given a raid mission, and he'll make a plan for that. Jimbo might be giving a defensive mission. He'll make a plan for that. And Sandy will be giving a fucking route clearance or something, and then you're gonna be using what you've been taught and try that.
Well, that's the best way to learn.
And then hopefully we'll get enough players on the idea to. So you guys are going to be leading the platoons as platoon leaders and squad leaders and 2 SCs. Again?
Who taught Pac-Man?
Pac-Man.
Check.
That was me who's trying to be funny.
Ah.
Who was trying to be funny?
British guy.
Oh, British guy.
That's why it didn't
What?
work.
I'm German.
I don't think Axel is British.
Is she actually?
The
No.
hell?
Jake's talking and he's very German.
Whatever.
Okay, I'm just going to shut up now. Anyways, guys, any further questions?
Yeah, if we get a chance to do that practically on a tactical Tuesday or a tactical Sunday or something, what I find really helpful is having people really criticize me after I do it.
Yeah, I'll definitely be there and probably run around RTO or something so I can observe you and give you some feedback.
Oh, that's great. Because sometimes, you come away thinking, oh, I did that perfectly. And it's great to have someone be ruthless and just tell you how lousy you actually did.
Yeah, okay. Then, if you guys are in for that, I'm definitely going to try and set it up and use PR to promote it and all shit.
Sweet, that would be awesome.
Cool. If that's the case, we're done for today and within time limit and all.
Thanks.
Thanks, Godhand.
Yeah, you're welcome. See you guys. Jake, you want to help me with a little after action on this?
Sure. I didn't take any big notes or anything like that, but yeah, sure, we can have a little talk if you want.
Just come with me into the office.
Well, I gotta go.